This loved one had sent a video of a young lady speaking about her experience keeping Sabbath. So I'm going to read you my response to that video. And we're going to look at the beauty and necessity of keeping Sabbath. A beautiful lady and testimony. In my experience, I feel like I'm gaining a renewed appreciation for Sabbath. Coming out of Adventism made me realize that as Adventists, we can sometimes make an idol out of Sabbath, but end up breaking it every week. Sabbath is a day of rest, spiritual and physical rest. We end up rushing around to make it to church or events, and sometimes pack the day with meetings, rehearsals, and you just end up feeling more exhausted. Or sometimes you don't have any one to one time with Yahuah, but we tick the checklist because we kept Sabbath by going to church. The lady she mentioned in the video has the right idea. They fellowship on Sunday and keep the biblical Sabbath Saturday or Friday evening to Saturday evening. There would be no sin in a weekly fellowship on any day of the week and having Sabbath to have family time and rest. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with fellowship on Sabbath, but it doesn't have to be every week, especially if there is pressure or stress to reach our destinations. It shouldn't be so. I personally want to be more conscious, to have less screen time on Sabbath and more time in the Word or enjoying quiet. It's hard getting used to quiet, but it does us a lot of good because we need the time to think freely and rest in Yahusha. Yeah? So that was my response to the video. Now, for some of you who may be watching for the first time, for 34 years, I grew up, I'm still 34 now, but I grew up Seventh-day Adventist and a Christian my whole life. That's all I've ever known. It's only really been a year now since I've been out. If you want to hear more about that, I have a video called Changes I've Been Going Through. Or is it called My Whole Life Has Changed? Anyway, I'll put the link in the description and you can watch that to see why I left Adventism. But one thing I am grateful for being a Seventh-day Adventist is because, with anybody coming out of any denomination, I'm sure not everything is right, but not everything is wrong. And one of the things they don't have wrong is Sabbath. But as I mentioned there, sometimes we can make it an idol, like, oh, I keep Sabbath. You don't. And that's not what it's about. You don't want to be arrogant and prideful. And even now, I still have to check my heart for arrogance and pride because it's so easy for us to default to that. And the Bible actually mentions Sabbath at least 172 times, according to Google. It's in the New Testament and it's in the Old, right? So, first, we're going to look at 3 benefits of Sabbath. Sabbath rest restores your mind and body. It's not just a pause from work, it's divine alignment. Yahuah built rest into creation so that you could recharge, reflect, and reconnect with Him without guilt or hurry. We are living in a time where mental health challenges are increasing. Let me read to you all 2 headlines here that I saw. This one is from the UN. It says Europe's health system under strain as doctors and nurses face mental health crisis. And remember, doctors and nurses, they're the ones helping us. They're the ones that we go to that when we need help. And because of those long hours, that's one of the things that was mentioned as well. Because of those long hours, they're having mental health issues, right? This headline is from theguardian.com. High youth death rates are an emerging crisis. Global health study warns alcohol, suicide, and injuries driving rises among teenagers and young adults, despite overall rates falling, authors say. So, as you can see there, people are struggling with their mental health. You can go online and you hear a lot of people saying, I have anxiety, I have this, I have that. I've never lived in a time where so many people call themselves introverts. I understand that some people are introverts. I get it. I really do. You know what I mean? Even as I've got older, I've come to enjoy my own company more, and a lot of people do need to understand that it's a balance. You can't always be around people and you can't always be by yourself. But sometimes people are calling themselves introverts, but really it's just either that they're antisocial or maybe they have social anxiety. Do you understand? So there's just so many labels and so many things going on. And I sincerely believe that part of the reason why this is happening is because we don't have that Sabbath. We don't have that time to stop. Do you understand? And I remember sadly even seeing an article a few months ago where this lady in America, she was an entrepreneur, her business was doing well, but she was working like every day of the week, and I think she was in her 30s as well. And she mentioned to someone, "Oh, I need to have a rest." She went to sleep and she did not wake up. She worked herself into the ground. And especially for somebody like me, especially for a lot of us, and in every culture, but I'm just speaking to Caribbeans, Jamaicans specifically. We're brought up to have a work ethic. We're brought up to know, work hard, apply yourself. And if we're not careful, you will work yourself into the ground. Because for a lot of us, we get our affirmation from, "Oh, look at the work that I did, look at this." You want to feel good, you want to feel nice. A lot of times we place our esteem on external factors, but Yah is saying, listen, just take some time. There's a time to rest, there's a time to minister, but there's this time to retreat, and you need it so that you can restore your mind and your body. Because our mind, like, as we can see, it's really sad when you see people having health issues, and mental health is just the same as being sick in another part of your body. It's just that it gets more of a stigma. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Because if my back was aching really badly for 1 week straight, I would go to the doctor. But then if someone's feeling kind of suicidal or just different types of thoughts, they would feel like, "Oh, I don't really want to talk to someone or go to the doctor." And it's, as I said, it's a part of your body. Your mind is a part of your body, your brain. So why not seek the help if you need it? But a lot of these things can be avoided if we take care of our health, if we take the rest. As I said, we can work ourselves into the ground. I've done it before. Work to burn out, work to burn out, work to burn out. You feel good because you did this and you did that, but now you're burnt out. It's not worth it. Have Sabbath. I'm telling you, read those verses, read the Bible, you'll see. Number two, Sabbath deepens family and faith. When you guard this day, your home begins to reflect peace and unity. Meals feel different, conversations become more meaningful, and your children learn that Yahuah's rhythm is sacred. And that is definitely a benefit because, as I said, in the week, there's schoolwork, there's jobs, there's all these things. But Sabbath gives everybody the opportunity to take it easy because your children are also using their brains a lot. They're learning, they're taking on new information. Hopefully, they're getting involved in running the home as well. So they need that time to just cool down and be calm. And you actually get to talk to each other. You actually get to sit in a bit of peace, weekly. Number three, Sabbath connects you to the feast and covenant. Keeping Sabbath opens your heart to the beauty of his appointed times. Through personal testimony, I'll share how observing these feasts have strengthened my relationship with Yahuah and taught me the blessing of holy discipline. So for the last year, it was, yeah, since last year and this year, we've kept the feast. And at first, I didn't really even know what to do. I think we were just like, okay, it's a feast day, and yeah, we're still going to just watch TV and do whatever. But this year was nice because specifically, like for the Feast of Tabernacles, my hubby put a tent up in the sitting room. And the girl just we enjoyed sleeping in there every night, and next year, our aim is to go to at least Passover or the Feast of Tabernacles and fellowship and be with others, whether it's in the UK or abroad. Because remember, the Bible tells you don't neglect the fellowship. You're supposed to come together. So I'm really looking forward to that. But that's also something I had to get used to. But it helps because it's like, okay, if you know the feast day is coming, specific times of the year that, okay, I have this time off. But that worker bee in me was still kind of like, I've already got Sabbath. This is an extra day. I could be doing this. So even that has been an adjustment. But as I've eased into it, it's been a blessing because it's a memorial. It's a time to remember the culture that our father gave our ancestors, and it points to our beautiful Messiah, Yahushua HaMashiach. And we'll be keeping Feast of Tabernacles in the kingdom. Do you know what I mean? So it's taking on kingdom culture. So I just want to read, what is the covenant? I'll include this as I like how Chat GPT put it together. So keeping the Sabbath connects you directly to the everlasting covenant Yahuah made with his people, a sign between him and Yasharel. that they belong to him. Here's the key scripture. Wherefore the children of Yasharel shall keep the Sabbath, to observe the Sabbath through their generations, for a perpetual covenant. It is a sign between me and the children of Yasharel forever. Exodus chapter 31, verse 16 to 17. This covenant isn't limited to the old Mosaic system. It's rooted in creation itself. Yahuah rested on the seventh day, Genesis 2, and sanctified it before sin, before Israel, and before Mount Sinai, meaning it's woven into the fabric of divine order. So when you keep Sabbath today, you are aligning yourself with the creation covenant, acknowledging Yahuah as creator, the covenant with Yasharel, identifying yourself as part of his set apart people, the renewed covenant through Yahusha, where the law is written on our hearts, Jeremiah 31, meaning the Sabbath is no longer just a command, but a delight born from love and obedience. In essence, Sabbath keeping reconnects you to identity, obedience, and relationship, the three pillars of Yahuah's covenant design. So I just felt like that was a beautiful way of putting it. So let's read the verse of encouragement. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yahuah Elohika. In it you shall not do any work. You, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your manservant, nor your maidservant, nor your ox, nor your ass, nor any of your cattle, nor your stranger that is within your gates, that your manservant and your maidservant may rest as well as you. Deuteronomy chapter 5 verse 14. So do you hear that? So for those in your home as well, it's for them. It's a beautiful time to rest spiritually and physically. And how you go about your Sabbath day, that is up to you. Because outside of the Bible making it very clear that you're not supposed to work, there's not much more information. Any other thing, you may have to be careful where people are putting their preference on you. I've spoken about this before, where people make their preference the principle. Well, because I don't eat this, and because I don't dress that way, and because I keep Sabbath like this, then you should do it like how I do. No. Go to your father and ask him, what does Sabbath look like for us? We know we're not supposed to work. We know we have a clear command. We know it's from sunset to sunset. May your Ruach HaKodesh lead us and guide us into this beautiful day of rest. So if you have heard of Sabbath before, and you've probably been taught that, it's the old law and all of these things, just go over the verses again. And hey, guess what? What harm could there be in taking one day off for the week? What harm is there in that? Try it for a month. See how you feel. Take that time. Learn to sit in peace. Learn to talk to your father more. Learn to give your body rest. Learn that it's not all your accolades and your work that affirms you. It's who you are in him. It's who we are in Yahusha. That's where we should be seeking our character and our affirmation and our confirmation about who we are. Not just look at all the results, because we've seen hustle culture come and we've seen hustle culture go as people got more burnt out and tired and realized, I can't keep up with this. But something that remains the same is our Father's word. It lasts forever throughout generations. So keep Sabbath holy. Enjoy it. All right then, ladies. And remember, sign up to the Harmony Framework for Mums. Go to www.organizemydreams.com.